This is one of the first projects where Aviena keypads have been purchased, installed, deployed, and the homeowners actually living and using them. They're actually made in Lincoln, Rhode Island. So out of the whole entire world, all these keypads and Lutron's finishes are all, the metal finishes are made in Rhode Island.
So when we started this project and when you were brought on board, it was a totally different scope of work for you.
Yes, it was a lot smaller. The whole entire scope changed. Basically, we met at the end of 2025 in the fall, and this project started as a remodel of, you guys were doing the kitchen, the bathrooms, some interior finishes. So we were going to deploy Sonata keypads with 120 volt. And the Aviena keypads were coming out, and I wanted to show them the whole line. So my rep firm actually got a hold of one of the samples before anyone, and I said, can I borrow that? So I brought it to the meeting, and I showed them all, and the client fell in love with it, and that's when the whole scope of the project changed, because she's like, I have to have this in the house.
So you're responsible for this then?
Sorry.
So as the project developed, at what point do you feel it really turned into a full gut renovation?
The minute the client wanted the Aviena keypads, because it's going to be a different wiring method rather than the remodel 120 volt. This is actually using a 4-conductor Lutron wire. So everything now has to be separated from the receptacles to its own isolated wiring run to the basement where these QSX panels are.
And then kind of coupled with that, we ended up with new lighting layouts, right?
Yeah, they ended up doing all new recessed lighting, decorative fixtures. I think it was a great idea for the house because it really came together nicely. This home's a little unique where it's got kind of Lutron's whole line, the Aviena keypads. And then you go to Palladium keypads, which they used in some specific areas of the home. And then we have like Sonata keypads or dimmers and switches that we use in mechanical spaces to meet Rhode Island Energy Code, where you're going to have things on timers. And it allows for like a goodbye scene to shut the whole house off. And then we even have wireless devices in here like Picos or tabletop keypads that are allowing things to kind of move around, or there's like one section of the house we couldn't get wires in. So it's a nice range of the whole product line in here. So we have centralized lighting panels in the basement, the Homeworks QSX, and that's where basically the heart of the house is, where all your mechanical, plumbing, electrical panels, and now our Lutron system is stationed in there. So we had 2 additions halfway through the project. One being they wanted Lutron wired shades up in the primary suite. So the interior designer spec'd the Roman shades in there. So we measured, had those custom ordered, and sent to their fabric place to have those done. So we ended up doing a wired system from the primary suite down to the basement, and we were able to add that on to the QSX system. And then the last thing we added, as people were trying to move in here, they wanted to add the architectural receptacles, which was kind of like the icing on the cake, because as you can see, the standard receptacles just didn't do the justice in here. And just that little bit of detail really enhanced the features in this home. 2 biggest things for me is going to be reliability, scalability. My job as an electrician and an integrator, this is the most important thing, because these clients spend a lot of money on their homes and they want things to last. So if you go with another product outside of Lutron, you might be okay for a couple years, but as that technology starts to fade, updates happen, it kind of goes by the wayside. We have Lutron projects that are 20 years old that we're still able to work on, update, add things on. So this client here has purchased something that's going to last a lifetime.